Once upon a time, in the vibrant and bustling village of Umuola, lived a young woman named Neka. She was kind-hearted, hard-working, and larger than life, not just in size but in spirit. Her body, however, had become the source of endless ridicule. Children taunted her as she walked past, and even the elders of the village often whispered about her weight, calling her elephant or hippo behind her back. But despite the mockery, Neka's inner light never dimmed. While the villagers only saw her size, they couldn't see the immense strength she carried within. Neka helped her aging mother, Mama Neka, run their small farm, waking up before dawn to work tirelessly. She never complained, even though she often felt the sting of loneliness. She had dreams too, dreams that one day someone would see past her appearance and appreciate the beautiful soul within. One fateful day, the village received news that King Eze, the ruler of their land, was looking for a bride for his only son, Prince Chima. The prince had returned from his travels, and the king announced that he would choose a bride from among the maidens of the land. The news sent the village into a frenzy. Every eligible young woman began to prepare, adorning themselves with the finest beads and fabrics, hoping to catch the prince's eye. But Neka didn't dare hope. What prince would look at me? She thought as she continued her daily chores. However, fate had other plans. One day, as Neka fetched water from the village stream, she stumbled and dropped her clay pot. Water splashed everywhere, and she sighed, frustrated at her clumsiness. Just as she bent down to retrieve the broken pieces, a shadow loomed over her. "Let me help you," came a voice. She looked up to see a tall, handsome man with a kind smile. It was none other than Prince Chima himself, though she didn't recognize him in his simple attire. The prince, eager to experience village life unnoticed, had been wandering through the fields. Neka blushed and quickly stepped back. "I'm sorry, my prince, I didn't realize," she stammered. "No need for apologies," Chima replied warmly. "Everyone needs help sometimes." As they walked back to the village together, Neka noticed that the prince didn't speak to her with the condescension she was used to. He asked her about her life, her dreams, and her thoughts on the world beyond their village. Neka spoke shyly at first, but soon found herself laughing and sharing stories she had never told anyone before. By the time they parted ways, Prince Chima was enchanted, not by Neka's looks, but by her spirit and honesty. Prince Chima couldn't stop thinking about Neka. Her laughter echoed in his mind, and her kindness was unlike anything he had ever experienced in the world of nobles and riches. But he knew his father wouldn't approve. The king had already begun talks with the family of Princess Ifeoma, the daughter of a neighboring kingdom's ruler. Ifeoma was everything a future queen should be: beautiful, elegant, and wealthy. Meanwhile, rumors began to spread in the village that the prince had been seen talking to a fat village girl by the stream. The villagers laughed, thinking it was impossible for someone like Neka to catch the prince's attention. "Neka with the prince? Ha! She doesn't stand a chance," they sneered. But little did they know, Prince Chima's feelings were growing deeper every day. One afternoon, a grand festival was held to honor the prince's return. All the noble families gathered, and Princess Ifeoma stood at the center of attention, glowing in her golden attire. Yet Prince Chima's eyes were elsewhere. He looked for Neka among the crowd, but she was nowhere to be found. Determined to see her again, Chima slipped away from the party and made his way to Neka's home. He found her sitting outside, staring up at the stars, far away from the laughter and music of the festival. "You should be at the celebration," Chima said as he approached. Neka looked up, startled. "I don't belong there," she whispered. "They would laugh at me." Chima knelt beside her. "I'm not looking for anyone else but you," Neka felt her heart race, but she couldn't believe it. "You don't understand, my prince. I'm just a poor village girl. I could never be a queen." Chima smiled, taking her hand. "A queen is not made by her beauty or wealth. It's her heart that matters, and yours is the most beautiful I've ever known." When Chima told his father of his decision to marry Neka, the king was furious. "You will marry Ifeoma, and that is final," the king roared. But Prince Chima stood his ground. "I will not marry for wealth or power. I will marry the woman I love." The entire kingdom was shocked by the prince's declaration. Princess Ifeoma was humiliated and the nobles were outraged. But Chima didn't care. He announced to the village that he would marry Neka and no one else. On the day of the wedding, disaster struck. A group of jealous noblewomen, led by Princess Ifeoma herself, conspired to sabotage the wedding. They kidnapped Neka on the eve of the ceremony, intending to humiliate her in front of the entire village. But Neka wasn't as weak as they thought. When the kidnappers taunted her about her size and tried to shame her, Neka fought back, not with violence but with her words. She stood tall and proud, defending her worth and reminding them that true beauty comes from within. As the women tried to drag her away, the villagers, who had grown to love Neka for her kindness and strength, came to her aid. Together, they freed Neka and ensured that nothing could stop the wedding from happening. Neka and Prince Chima were married in the grandest ceremony the village had ever seen. The once fat girl everyone laughed at became their beloved queen, a queen who ruled with grace, wisdom, and compassion. As for Princess Ifeoma, she left the kingdom in disgrace, never to be seen again. The villagers learned a valuable lesson that day, that love, kindness, and inner strength are far more important than outward appearances. What would you have done if you were in Neka's shoes? Would you have believed in yourself enough to become queen? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for joining me for this heartwarming tale. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more African love stories. Stay safe, and remember, true love knows no boundaries.